A special news hour is continuing as KHTS AM 1220 is we're trying to interview all 50 applicants for the Santa Clarita City Council and working our way through the list. With me in studio is Tito Gonzalez. Tito, thank you for coming down. We appreciate you taking the time to come down and talk about the issues and your application for Santa Clarita City Council.
Thank you, Perry. I appreciate the time for this wonderful interview.
Well, talk to me about a little bit about your background in Santa Clarita for listeners who may not know who you are. Where are you from up here? Have you lived in the area a long time? What do you do?
I wasn't born here. I was born in Sylmar, but I was raised here my entire life. Went to Hart High School. Recently graduated from California State Northridge.
Oh, right on. Did you go to CSC too, or just from Hart to CSUN?
A little complicated. I actually was attending COC while I was in high school, and I was taking COC courses while I was attending Cal State Northridge.
Oh, interesting. So how did you do that in high school with taking the COC class at the time?
Oh, I was able. A friend of mine gave me advice of how to take COC courses while still in high school, and because of those courses, I was able to of all the credits I received from those courses, I was able to graduate early from CSUN.
Okay, and talk to me a little bit about what brought about your community involvement. Is this the first? Is this your first sample of public life? Are you involved in any community organizations? Are you involved in any volunteer work up here?
When I was just a boy, I was involved at the community center. Just recently, I was involved.
Over in Newhall.
Yes, just recently I was involved in the only for like 2 weeks in the Boys and Girls Club. I also volunteered for the Blue Ribbon Task Force and I also participated in the political campaigns of Dante Acosta and Scott Wilk.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this: what were you doing for the Blue Ribbon Task Force?
When I would do my best to explain. When everyone knows about Central Park, about all the drivers that perished at a young age, I was there just a volunteer to help out with the families.
Oh, for the Youth Grove?
For the Youth Grove.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of spreading awareness about safe driving choices and that type of thing.
Of course. I'll be honest, I have seen how young people have their future and all of a sudden their future is destroyed just because of that one drunk driver.
Sure.
And to all the families, I am so sorry for your losses, but we here in this valley, here in this city, we always will remember those.
And you brought up an excellent point as far as the driving and the concern about for commuters out here. Talk to me about what you see the priorities for Santa Clarita City Council if you're appointed to it.
If I'm appointed to City Council, one of the first issues I am going to tackle with is infrastructure. We are already seeing the rise in population here in Santa Clarita. I remember just as a young boy how it was just only Newhall, Valencia, Canyon Country just existed, Zagas just existed, and now there are more homes being created. However, with a rising population and with more homes being created, crime is on the rise. Start focusing on infrastructure and also tackling down on crime. I have family in the sheriff's department, and I want to be able to do my best to be able to help with the sheriff's department and start increasing more police officers. And we are about to enter troubling times this year. Why? Prop 57 has just passed. And the third issue I would like to tackle on the awareness of the drugs, and especially within our youth growth.
Sure.
I remember while I was still in high school, how I heard rumors of drugs here in this location, this place.
Sure. As
great as we are of enforcing the issue of drugs, I feel like that issue should be tackled more head on. Try to spread more awareness, because I have seen old acquaintances just start taking drugs. I'll just only take a sip. But what that happens with that sip, it becomes an addiction, and their lives are destroyed.
So can you talk to me a little bit about looking back at what City Council's been doing, one example of where you think they did a great job on something, and maybe one example of where if you were appointed to the City Council, you would do something differently. You would have done it differently.
A great job, I'll be honest overall. This city. This small little city just started so small and now has grown into one of into the third largest city in LA County. I believe they have done such a great job of creating one of the best cities in the nation. However, what I feel like, but to the opposite side, the billboard issue.
Okay, sure. Somebody just mentioned that. So talk to me about where you took exception to that, or where you had an issue with how the city handled the billboard situation.
I remember what one council member said. The points of the city council is to listen to the people, be with the people, for the people. And the issue of how the people have voted no on the billboards, and the council still decided to go forward with the billboards. And I believe that issue was I believe that issue should have listened to the people and not to their own selfish interest.
So you felt like there wasn't enough outreach through that process?
Yes.
Okay. And then talk just a little bit about what else you might like to see things done a little bit differently, or things that you recognize as far as the city council leadership throughout the city of Santa Clarita. Just any other issues in general. While you're up here, you have this opportunity, you have the mic. Talk to me about things that you think are either A, being done right, or B, could be done differently.
I'll be honest, I'm glad I'm here interviewing and having this process to apply to be on the city council. However, what I feel like should have been done for this example, this situation right now, it should have been done through a special election. Rather than choosing an applicant, it should have just been done in a special election. As the city council is supposed to be made of people who were elected and are going to serve the community. However, I believe overall the council has done a great job with this city. As before, this city is a beautiful area, or as I have nicknamed the city, Awesome Town.
So what do you think is the most unique or the most special thing about Awesome Town for you? Because you mentioned, you're happy with a lot of the things in the city.
How it's a family-oriented city. I remember growing up, everyone kept saying, "Oh, this town is boring. It's quiet. There's nothing to do." I'm like, that's what makes it so great. It's quiet. There's barely any crime. Sure, crime has risen, but this town that's what's beautiful about this town. Low crime rates, great place to raise a family, and when I hear residents say there's nothing to do here, there's always something to do here. We have Six Flags.
Awesome, Tito. I appreciate it. What better note to leave it on than that? Thank you so much for taking the time to come down here in the studio. Tito Gonzalez, good luck with your application on January 17th.
And Perry Smith, thank you for the time.
Yeah, you're welcome.